talking been so far? You can put a comment on the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself. Okay. Right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, absolutely fine. Yes, we can.
All right, good. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone. Has anybody dropped a comment on the chat? Okay, fine. Albert, thank you for responding. So like Coach Atta introduced, my name is Damola, and today's class is basically going to be about product management, about other facets of product skills that are available out there in terms of looking at Scrum and also the differences between different aspects of product management in terms of what people think it is, what it is not, and a lot of stuff. So to start with, so this is like an overview of what we're going to be doing today. So we're looking at what is a product management versus project management, what is Scrum. And so I added an extra, what like should intrigue persons that would love to come into product management, what should be like if you're just starting out or you are interested in what to know what product management is all about. So I added an extra to the class called the Innovator's Dilemma. And then at the end of all our journey, I think one of the most important part of learning a skill is how to get a job. So I'll be taking a dive into that also. So to start with, this is a little bit short about myself. I work as a product manager with Code for Africa, and I work with the technology team in my organization, and then I majorly work around discovery, development, and launch and maintenance of about all our products. So we have about 17 product portfolios in my organization, and I happen to be one of the persons who have access to all the products, and I give insight on what best to do part-time. But actively, I manage about 4 products at Code for Africa. And so before I joined Code for Africa, I built startups here in Nigeria, and I also work with my friends to launch products. And one thing I can point out to is a product that is Seamless Law, where we are helping businesses in Nigeria to avoid court disputes. So why I'm here today is because I'm on a mission to help 1 million people over the next phase of my life have product sense so that you can be able to understand product, grow your product IQ. Because I'm a believer in the sense that I believe product knowledge is something that is applicable to every facet of our life, aside you working as a product manager. Over time, I've used the product skills that I've gathered over time to make my own personal life better. And that's why I can bring a good news about saying that product management is one of the skills you can learn that add value to yourself. And also, when you join an organization, you can bring value to the table, regardless of any background you're coming from. All right. So I think we can start. That's just a short about me. And I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. So for those who I want to ask where I'm based from. So to start, what is a product? So basically, over time, a lot of persons have misconception about what a product is. And so this is a definition I give to what a product is. Anything that simplifies and enhances a task. So this solves like any myth you have about what a product is. Anything that people do around you that simplifies a task. And these tasks are something that has been constant even before we were born, like the task of moving from one place to another, or the task of talking to a friend that is far away from where you are, maybe from here, Nigeria, to a friend in Mexico or a friend in Japan. This task has always been existing right even before some of us were born, and it's always exists. So product is when people do something to simplify those tasks. And I would love some persons to make comments here now. There are some products here you can identify, and I wanted to look at the screen and look, is there any part of the product on my screen that you don't agree is a product? On this screen, you can see Pocket by Biggiverse. I think it's a popular app a lot of persons should be aware of. There's Notion, there's Indomie, Redeem Church is a product, WhatsApp is a product, my organization is a product, Neuroland is a product. Hey, to go. I don't know if I remember to go that year. Like some years back, it was one of the most trending social media app in Nigeria. Also wristwatch, I have a wristwatch here in my hand, is a product. And so all these things on my screen are different kind of product that exist in our real world. And if you can check, each of these products, either product on, either to go, either Neuroland, either Slack, Google Maps, each of them are simplifying a task, or they are making sure that whatever you want to do, it gets easily done by you. And so like I also see there's a product for dogs here. A dog wants to play, and human decided that let's create toys for dogs instead of toys for humans. So product as a thing is something that it's cut across us humans and also living things around. People build products for elephants, people build products for ostrich, people build products for anything that has life. So don't restrict yourself to knowledge that product management is all about just digital software like we all are aware of. But one thing about product management is that it became very popular because of the digital space. But the knowledge you're going to be acquiring when you are a product manager applies to all other facets of life. And all right, now, so from that, you can see that there are different kind of products. Some don't have a lot of users, some are dead, some are going to decline, some are product might not even recognize. But one thing that is certain is that a product simplifies and enhances a task. It helps people to make their life become easier to live. And now, but like I said, one of the major factors that made product management become so popular is because of the digital software space, or what I'll call the software product management. So in this regard, people have come to define product management from how a software, the team define product as anything or any item or service you sell to serve a customer need or want. So it can be anything. It's not restricted to digital product alone. So they're telling you that whatsoever you sell to serve a customer need. So if you go back to my former screen, you can see that Uber, you can see Bolt, this satisfy a need, which is the need or the task of moving from one place to another. If you look at redeemed creatures of God, they satisfy a particular need. People want to grow spiritually and they look for a place to get that done. And that is why they always come back to redeem to attend their services so they can grow spiritually. So my own definition of product management of a product now is anything that can be marketed to customers or users because it provides them with a benefit and satisfies a need. There are some things you come across that, especially digital products, whereby you open an app and for the first time, you look at it and you feel like, I don't even know how to use this thing. You try to do it for some seconds. And after a while, you just dump it. So even though people were able to build a digital product and upload on Play Store and downloaded it, you were not able to identify the benefits the app should do for you. You're not able to decipher what exactly the task the product wants you to achieve. We want to make your life become easier with. And so because of that, you abandoned it. So one of the major things is making sure that the product satisfies a need. And then the users can be able to see this need and continuously use it. So according to Martin Kagan, one of the easiest way to define a product is when it comes to product that is bound with technology is customer, business, and technology, which means that for you to have a product in the digital world now, you need to be able to have a targeted customer base. It must be able to generate revenue for you, and technology must be a means to an end. So in a digital world now, or most persons are aware, this is like the shortest equation to what a product is. You have some customers, it generates revenue for you, that's a business, and you're using emerging technologies or any technology out there to solve those problems. So in my field now, I work with an organization that's into news into news. And so we've been able to come to agreement and define a product. It's called a news product, which is like a defined article, series, program, or any other content created by a news organization to meet the needs of news consumers. So you can see that product management is applicable to any field whatsoever you want. BBC as a product, Reuters as a product, Google, which is one of the biggest company out there, has different kind of products. So don't, Gucci is a product. A lot of different brands out there have they are all products. And I'm trying to shape your understanding so that you don't have a unbalanced perception about what a product is. Okay, so now, having said that, what then now is product management? Now that we've identified what a product is, what then is, how do you then manage this product? That's just basically a simple way to put it. Now, to start with, users and customers don't use or buy products, they hire them to do a job. If you remember, one of the first things I said a product is anything that simplifies or enhances a task. So in human lives now, those tasks have been defined by thought leaders in the early 2000s into a term called jobs to be done. So a user necessarily doesn't want to use a product. They only use a product because they see that this product can help me to achieve a goal, can help me to complete a task that I'm dying to complete. For example, when this COVID-19 all started, we can see that it became very important that people needed to complete the task or the job of talking online. And that was when Zoom became what? Became a very successful business by generating large customer, and they generated revenue from those customers, and they were using technology to solve lots of problems when it comes to working remotely. So you can see that the what is constant is that what made people to require them to make use of Zoom or Google Meet or any of these video conferencing tools because they needed to complete a task, and that was what made them to always go to make use of that product. So moving on now, what then is product management? Like I said, so so in this regard now, I want us to put a tag here. All what I'll be explaining in this course will be all about digital product management, or what some persons called software product management. So we have delved away from traditional products now to digital products, which means that these products are customer inspired and technology enabled. So majority of the product we're focusing on are what technology acts as a medium to solve a customer needs or a customer problem. Now, so product management is an organizational function that guides every step of the product life cycle from development to positioning and pricing by focusing on the product and its customer first and foremost. That's defined by Atlassian. So what this try to explain to you is that product management is all about designing or developing a product from the beginning to where you position the product to the market, where you attach a price to the product, and then you sell to customers. Sorry, give me 1 second, please. Yeah, sorry about that. That was an emergency. Sorry. All right. So, like I was saying, that's like a basic way to understand the meaning of product management. What it takes is that you're designing a product having users in mind, but your focus is on how best you can solve a problem. And each step along the way, making sure that when you conceive the idea, you think on the idea, and then you develop the idea, and then you push out the idea to meet those users, and then you add price to it. Because majority of persons in our world now wants to make money when you launch a product, but necessarily not all products is revenue oriented, which I'm still going to talk about later on. So the other part of product management is, another definition is an art of conceiving, developing, launching, maintaining software products or applications. It combines elements of business strategy, design thinking, and technology to ensure that a software product aligns with customer need, business goal, and market trend. So this like encapsulates everything that project management is all about, which tells you that you're managing a product from, as a product manager, depending on the kind of product um, organization you join or whatever you want to do with the knowledge. You might start with conceiving an idea, developing it. That means working with designers, working with user researchers, working with software engineers to develop the product, and then working with other cross-functional teams like the sales and marketing, like other teams to launch the product and position it to the front of the users, and then maintaining that particular product, making sure that what users can consistently use the product doesn't break, it's always online, and it's always working. So in essence now, a product manager is involved in why the product, who are we building the product for, what is the product in terms of what is the features, how is it, what are we going to combine to solve the user problem, and then when, which means when are we building this product, what is the timeline of what is the estimation of in the next 4 months we can build this product, and then how, which is working with other cross-functional team to design and build the product, especially with a product designer and the engineering team. So basically, this is what product management is, and this is what a product manager does. It is all about and concerned with why are we building this product? What problem, what user need are we meeting? What opportunity do we see? Who are building this product? What is our user segmentation? Who are the folks that are going to be using this product? And then what are the combination of features we can combine together that's going to solve these needs that we've identified? And how long can we build this? How long? When do these things work together for us to be able to build this product? And then with other cross-functional team, how, with engineers, with designers, you brainstorm and work together to be able to make sure that you can deliver all the features and make sure that the features you've identified solve those needs. All right. So all right, back now. So now I've talked about what product management is and what a product manager does. Now, so this now take us to what product management is not. So there's a term in agile product management called product owner or product ownership, where there's an individual within the organization that has the responsibility of delivering the product, which means that the product team is so large that they can distribute tasks and distribute responsibilities. So primarily, this particular role came out of engineering-led organization, which means that they build products that are driven by engineers. So, but you need somebody also to stand in the gap and bring in some customer insight. This is where all these product owner responsibility and job description came about. So basically, your role responsibility is to make sure that the engineering team deliver the product based on what has been agreed upon, and make sure that the product satisfies the requirement that has been identified. But whereas a product manager build a business around the product, you are interested in making sure that the product becomes successful, making sure that the product gets users consistently, making sure that you can create strategies to always bring back these users. But as a product owner, you're not really interested in that. They are just interested in what, making sure that they deliver the product within the agreed time frame. Then another thing that is very, very simple to see is that a product manager creates the vision of the product in alignment with overseen from the stakeholders like the CEO or whatsoever hierarchy of managerial levels that exist in an organization you join. They are the persons you work with to define the vision of a particular product. And then the product manager listens to customer feedback, translate them to features, prioritize them, set user expectation. But the only thing a product owner does is, the job of a product owner is to relay all this information and take them to the development team, the engineering team, to deliver and implement a particular solution or a particular feature. So that's just basic what a product owner is versus a product manager. So in plain, what's it called now? Formula, a product owner is only concerned about the what, the when, and the how. So it's concerned about the features, the requirement, the user stories, when, okay, we're building this product over the next 10 sprints, and how we're going to implement this feature this way, implement this feature this way, and then engineering, the development team starts working. But a product manager is involved in the why, the who, the what, the when, and the how. Now, the other part that people get a little bit confusing with what product manager to a product manager is project management, which is all about a project manager focuses on the logistical elements of a project, such as scheduling, budgeting, and managing resources. So majorly, a project manager is focused on this exact facet of a particular product or a particular project. So we're in charge of, if we're going to get databases for our product, we're going to get different engineering functional requirements for the product. The project manager work in line with the engineering team and other stakeholders to make sure that you have the enough resources that is allocated to that product, so that when it comes to building the product, there is no gap in that regard. And then project managers work on project all through the stages, and they have responsibilities from beginning to the end of the product, making sure that the product succeed. And so while they are different, one thing that is very paramount in this role versus product manager is that they ensure that the product becomes successful. So now to differentiate it, the simpler way to do is like a formula, which is the project manager focuses on what, when, and how the product is built. Now, this is where it sounds tricky. When you join some organizations, you have to do the role of a product manager, do the role of a product owner, and do the role of a project manager. So that is why these skills are important, or this knowledge are important for you to have as a product manager. There's some organization you join, you're the one acting as a project manager in liaison with a very high-level manager or your direct manager, and you're also the primary person that the engineers come to talk to. So that's a very balanced opinion about the three different roles. So now, I know that as I'm talking, you might have some questions. So I would like you to pen them down so that at the end of our discussion, you can ask questions. There'll be a lot of time for you to have questions. So now continue now. What is product management versus project management? Now I've delved a little into what a product manager does and what a product manager does and what a project manager does. So basically, building products users love and efficiently delivering the product. So as a product manager, you have some project sense. Likewise, a project manager also need to be interested that you are building a project that the users will love, so that even after you are done building this product, you can see and have a way to measure that this thing is successful. So in a simple term, one product management is about building products users love, but project management is what efficiently delivering what this product. Now, in a more broader way of explaining this, so I decided to do something that will make you have a deeper perspective about the differences and how you can draw a thin line between the two. So there's this thing in product management called product sense, and there's also this thing I've been able to coin that I coined project sense. So product sense is the ability to understand a product's need. Moreover, it is the sense of what makes a product great. So I'll explain. So basically, as a product manager, you should have, when you see a product, for example, if I go back to this first slide, you should ask yourself, what is the need both solve? What is the need Indomie solve? What is the need RCCG solve? What is the need Piggyverse solve? What is the need WhatsApp solve? Nairaland solve? To each of these, even Nigeria is a product, we are solving a need. So you need to ask yourself, you need to start thinking and giving yourself tasks to do, growing your product sense. And so basically, it is something that you can shape and build over time. And it's just basically how you identify opportunities for innovation. One of the reasons why Nigeria as a product is where it is, because there are a lot of ways Nigeria can be better, but persons have decided not to just do it. I don't know whether it's a selfish reason, but we can see that Nigeria is not where it's supposed to be. Everybody agrees with that. So it means that people who are the Nigeria's product manager are not doing their job well. They're not prioritizing what they need to do to improve the life of a common person in Nigeria. So product sales or product management is not just a skill we're just using software alone, but it applies to every facet of life. So, but in software product management, what it entails is, if you see your products now, maybe you see both, you need to ask yourself, a product manager, how can we make both better? Even though you don't work with both, these are the tasks you do to increase your product sense. I'm still going to talk about ways in which you can increase your product sense. The other part is project sense, which is relating to an individual's or a team's ability to plan, execute, manage projects effectively. So what you're growing when you are trying to grow your project sense is, are we completing this project in time, within the budget provided? Are the requirements in terms of domain name, in terms of databases, in terms of cloud storage, are all these things well allocated for? And also, would there be any risk along the line? What if, as we're building the products on our beta launch or on our alpha launch, we have 100,000 users at a go? Will our current infrastructure be able to carry these things? So you need to, as a product manager, you'll be tagged with that responsibility so that your product doesn't fail. Because if you don't do this, you might end up building a product and your first launch, you have 1 million or let's say 100,000 users, and the product or the app crashes. So this is where having a project sense comes in. And also delivering products or projects that meets industry standards and organization standards. So this is where knowing and studying competitors, what they do, how they build their products, and then checking it at par what you're building to see while will a user want to leave a competitor to our own product? And this is where all of these things are where they become so important. So basically, this is product sense, an ability for you to understand and be able to observe a particular need, a particular pain point, or a frustration that a particular product is solving, and then your ability to be able to execute and plan on how you can build that product effectively. Now, so yeah. So there's this thing I said I was going to say, which is about how we can grow a product sense. So like I said, there are products, what we call product tear downs, which is you picking a particular product and trying to ask yourself, what problem does this product solve? Who are the users? And trying to write what we call a product requirement document that if you join this particular class, I'll be teaching you how to do all of this stuff, how to write a product requirement document, or when you join, because I'm expecting us on this course to join. When you join this particular code I'll taking, I'll be teaching you how to write product requirement document, how to decipher the task, each product or each case that you're going to be working with, what tasks are they helping us humans to achieve, and how also you can grow your product sense in the long run. And so there's also one thing that differentiates project management and product management, which is the softwares we use in the industry. So when it comes to product management tools, they help you with understanding how to build, I've made mention of product requirements, how to build product strategy, how to like products like Jira helps you to understand some terminologies using Scrum, which involves velocity, estimating the implementation of a particular product, a particular feature by your development team or engineering team. So some of these tools are built majorly for you to be able to manage a particular project. But there are some also other tools that are majorly built for you to execute a project. They just have maybe Gantt charts, or they have what's it called, a to-do page where you have to do, in progress, and done. And majorly they're just helping you to be able to know what task you need to do part time and how best you can be able to build that particular product within the time frame you've agreed upon. So in just summary, product management softwares are designed for you to plan and execute products, while a project management software able to manage your tasks, timeline, and other things. So in just a balanced notion, some products are intertwined. They offer both products features and also project management features. Now, so to make a final talk on product management versus project management, like I said, these two different terminologies can be intertwined. Some organizations, a product manager is a person that is a project manager, but works with a high-level manager to do some part of the budgeting and all other stuff. Why some organizations differentiate between these roles. So as a product manager, your responsibility is to be able to understand the organization, understand the environment, and know what skills you'll be bringing on to the table. Now, to the next part of our course, which is what is Scrum. And so Scrum is basically how successful agile companies ship value to their users and to their customers. So it's the easiest way for you to manage your product development journey and exactly what you want to do that will make your customers and your users to always come by and use your product. So you see some product, they release features or new updates every Friday, some release updates every 2 weeks, bi-weekly Friday. So each team now has come to a point where when you don't change, update your product, you don't make changes, there's security issues, and your product is just lying down. Over time, users are going to churn out and they won't use your product. So this is where the concept of Scrum came in. And so Scrum is just basically an agile project management and product development framework that allows you as a product team or an organization to solve some of the complex problems when it comes to delivering a product or delivering a particular feature. So it is built on the principle of transparency, inspection, and adaptation. What this means is that each time you're coming to a particular Scrum meeting, for example, a daily stand-up, you're coming as a developer or as an engineer to tell your product owner or your product manager what you've done a day before, if there were blockers, if there were challenges, what can be done to solve that particular problem. So I'll just run through what the Scrum process is, and then, but details of this particular methodology in Agile will be taught in detail when you join the class that will be starting, and Coach Atta is going to talk more about that. And so a product owner or a product manager comes with what we call a product backlog, or what we call a backlog PBIs, product backlog items, and then you work alongside your engineers to identify what features or new features that you want to build for a particular product. And then you organize a meeting where you talk about the goal of the particular sprint, talk about all the backlogs you've identified, and shuffle them and say, okay, we can develop these particular features within the next 2 weeks, which is only 2 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on the organization. And then you have a sprint backlog where, in conjunction with your Scrum Master and the engineering team, you take some backlog items into the sprint backlog. This is like what we're going to work in the next 1 week, and then you assign developers to it, and then they work throughout that sprint. And within this sprint period, they're going to be coming each day at a particular time on a 15-minute marks of a meeting frame, and then they discuss what they've done yesterday, what the blockers they have, if there are any, and what they plan to do that, so that you can be able to monitor how well they are bringing the product, the velocity, and the product increment that you'll be able to achieve at the end of that particular sprint. And then at the end of the sprint, you come together again, just like you did at the beginning of the planning, to review what you've built. The engineers demonstrate what they've built over time. Oh, we've been able to build this particular visual feature, and then we can do a release by this particular day, or on next Wednesday we can do a release, next Thursday we can do a release. It's just a regular release that doesn't require too much of users interaction. You can release on a Friday. So, but each team has a way they've structured how they want to review their product and when they can launch that particular feature, or if it's not something that that involves launching to the general public, you can do a beta test. So there are a lot of ways each organization out there have defined their Scrum process. By the end, you also come together to review what in a meeting called retrospective, where you come together to ask yourself, what can we do well from the past sprints to make sure that we can do better jobs and build better outcomes. And also what went well, you praise yourself, I did this best. When I did this was the result I got. Oh, fantastic. And then what should we continue doing? And then that ends the particular sprint. So this is like a short summary of what a Scrum process is. And it's very, very interesting. When you join the class, we're going to be demonstrating this in real time. We're going to be building a particular feature, and we're going to create ways where you experience what it means to participate in a Scrum. And so there are a lot of things, like I've said, that Scrum is built upon, is built on different values. There are pillars of Scrum. There are checklists, okay, where you talk about user stories, definition of done, acceptance criteria, different artifacts that you're going to be using, and terminologies that when you join the class, we're going to be diving deep more into what Scrum is in details. Now, over to one thing that is very important that I want us to talk about. We're almost rounding up. And so basically, innovators' dilemma is how great product managers or organizations out there have brought out innovative products that wowed the whole world. Look at ChatGPT, look at different kind of product out there that is making wave. A lot of persons 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they would not even want to build that kind of product. They feel like it's a waste of time. Why are we going to waste money? Why are you going to be working on a product that is not going to drive users? So this is where, as a product manager or as a scrum person or as a product owner, this is one of the balance you should be able to have, or a knowledge that will help you guide and help your organization or your stakeholders to make better decisions and push them to a point where they can deliver innovative products to their users. So basically, if you look at some of the products like To Go that I've showed you, there are products in Nigeria like Nokia, product like BlackBerry, products like this Mr. Biggs. I saw a tweet today about Mr. Biggs. So each of these products, a lot of different organizations before like them before were fantastic products. A lot of persons use them. It was a talk in the town. They were like the iPhones of nowadays. But as they were existing, they got to a point where they had a high user base. They were the talk of the time. They have great revenue, and one small startup just came from nowhere and built one small technology and say this is iPhone, it's touchscreen, or this is a operating system. This is a new technology. Let's try this. And these big companies will just wave it and say, no, it doesn't matter. Let's focus on our BlackBerry. You understand? And then later, they will see that over time, people start leaving their product to that particular new product. And this is where it gets interesting, because as a product manager or as a project manager, your responsibility is to be able to make sure that your product keep getting users. So if a product is coming to the market and takes away your user, that means as a product manager, you're not doing your job. So basically, you should be able to study emerging technologies. How can AI that is now in the wave, how can we make it simplify and enhance the task we do in my organization? How can we enhance the task we help the users to achieve? And this is where your thinking cap comes in. And so that when you build a product, you are not going to be bringing value that your organization will not accept or see the importance. And this is what Innovators Dilemma is all about. You being able to being based on your product skills, bring disruptive ideas, disruptive features that can allow users to continuously use your product, and making sure that you can open new markets to your product and users can always come in and you will generate revenue for your business. And so basically, Innovators Dilemma posits that successful companies, while concentrating on existing customers and bringing out new features on their Scrum, on their Agile team, they also can be exposed to disruptive technologies, targeting new or overlooked markets. And but some other firms will decide that they want to take their resources and experience and overlook what is going on and don't be interested and say, we are fine the way we are. And then they lose the users they've been able to have over time. So basically, what we're going to be taking when you have this class is how, as a product manager, you can have ideas that you can be able to back up with data and tell your stakeholders on how best you can bring out features that what users are going to love, and then be built on current technology. So if you look at this screen now, these are products that now they are not making wave. There's a product called Project IDX, which is all about is a particular product built by Google currently. There's a product called Music LM by Google. They are trying to explore how AI can power people to generate music through just typing the words. There is Nose AI, where people just with AI, you can be able to perceive things around you. And so basically, these are ideas that people think are stupid, but in the next few years, if Google continues, and it will just bring out a very innovative product, and it becomes the talk of the town, just like ChatGPT was so many years ago when nobody was even concerned about language models. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that as a product manager, you should be able to understand the current technologies in the market and how you can position those technologies to help grow your business. Might even be organization efficiency that's going to you're going to bring in. So it might just be improving the product, improving the processes you help to build the product, or improving the people themselves. So product management is not just all about product. It involves the processes you use in building those products and also the people that build those products. So AI or all this emerging technology are very paramount to how products are built in the future. And just like you can see the wave around ChatGPT helping software engineers reduce their coding time, which means that they can spend more time brainstorming on how best to solve a particular problem instead of writing code. You can generate snippet of code and build more on it by using their problem-solving skills on those particular code snippets. So now, when you join the course, we're going to be taking you through a series of different ideas and topics that will position you and also equip you to be a very effective product manager, whether you join a startup, whether you join already or existing company with, or you join a company that's already trying to shape up how best you can bring value to the table. What matters as a product manager is what value are you bringing on the table? What matters as a scrum master or as a product owner is what value are you helping the organization to deliver? And with all of that, we'll also help you on how you can position yourself for job opportunities, which is about how you can paint a compelling picture of yourself to attract the right job opportunity. So I'll just give some few points I've identified here. So there's a concept in product management called unique selling point or unique or value proposition. So may I've tagged this your unique value proposition, which is what's a combination of what the skills you'll be learning, the experience will help you to generate. When you come to the class, there will be a lot of experiences you're going to be getting from the case studies, from the products you're going to be working on hands-on experience. There are a lot of assignments you're going to do that will turn to your personal achievement. Oh, I understand how YouTube works. I built a PRD on Spotify. All of these tasks are going to help you to sell yourself. You can tell people, see if I can build Spotify, it means I can build another music app. If I can develop a PRD for Flutterwave from scratch without having any information about Flutterwave from any of their staff, it means that when I join a company into a fintech product, I can build a PRD, use that same understanding and experience and the skills I've gathered to design features, talk to users, and know the best thing to do to create user retention for that organization. So each of all these things are what we'll be able to do and able to craft a elevator pitch for your own self. Like I have mine, like I showed you at the beginning, I have a unique selling point for my own self. And each of these things are very important that when you join the class, you're going to be having so much resources at your disposal to get a job. And it depends on some of these points I've highlighted here. Number one, you need to believe in yourself and eliminate that, oh, I'm coming from a background I studied sociology in the university, or I do customer experience now, or I don't even have a job at all now. Am I going to get a job when I do product management? As long as you've been able to follow through this section now, you should be able to understand that what matters is the value you can bring to the table as a product manager. What innovation, what improvements, how can you help your product or your business to generate more users? How can you keep those users and how can you grow those users? Those are the things we'll be diving deep in the course. And also you need to know where you're going. Like I said, there are different aspects in which you can apply product management. I know a friend that works with this company that produces wristwatch, Patek. You understand? And he's a product manager with Patek, enjoying cold US dollars. And it doesn't mean because he studied product management, you only have to apply it to software products. You can take this same thing to what? To another field and still excel. Also, the knowledge you're going to be gaining as a product manager is something that you need to have a job strategy. What exactly are you going to be searching for? How can you position yourself online to also be visible in terms of if you're going to be making a job search, how best you can do it. Also, you can be visible on social media. We're going to be helping you to do that. And also how you can sharpen your interview skills. Like I said, you need to understand your skill set, your experience, be proud of what you've done, even though you think it's little, is how well you can sell it. You understand? And there's some products you say, I like this product, I love this product. Hey, I love it very well. You don't like the product. We live in a capitalist world where they've been able to create perception for you on TV, on radio, on social media, and then all of a sudden, I like iPhone. I can't do that iPhone. Whereas the iPhone, although has wonderful features as a product, but necessarily they have a good positioning and marketing strategy they've built around. So same thing applies to us as humans. You're a product. You need to be able to stay and stand out from the crowd. It's like iPhone stand out from the crowd. So all of this product management, you're going to apply it to yourself, all the product management knowledge, and how best you can get a job. And also how you can use stats and information in terms of numbers to showcase your strength. Because as a product manager, you can't know all at the beginning. But what you know, how can you use numbers to show that, oh, over my period of learning, I was able to understand like 10 fintech products while learning. This is the features in this product. This is what made this particular product, what make carry wide different from Flutterwave, what make Flutterwave different from Piggyverse. All of this information are what, when you talk about them as a product manager, if that is aligned, it makes your recruiter or persons who are going to be talking to you see that you understand where you're going and what you're doing. And then how also that when you're applying, how you can keep track of everything you're going to be doing in terms of your application of jobs, application of and also your interviews, and also how you can keep track of improving yourself as a product manager. Yeah, thank you. So I will open the floor now. How many days for questions? And I'll be doing to answer out of them.
Thank you so much. Guys, please, let's give a round of applause. Unmute yourself and clap wherever you are right now. I mean, he has done a fantastic job. Honest.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Damola. I mean, that was interesting. That was really fantastic. Okay, so I know that you guys have a lot of questions, right? It's cool. And myself, I have a question because I'm also here to learn. All right,
Of
so
course.
now the thing is I'm going to drop I mean, before we go ahead and ask our question, so I'll ask my question first because I'm the host. Okay, but then everybody's going to ask questions. But of course, we have a YouTube video, right, where I and Damola actually sat down face to face and actually chatted. You know, so I've dropped the link to that YouTube video in the chat box right now, so you can copy that link and watch it later. Maybe after this webinar, you can watch it. We talked some more about some of the things he has mentioned. So my own question is, how do you know? I mean, you talked about disruption. You showed a chart. You know, I talked about disruption, and of course, we've had a lot of products that have disrupted the market, and we've had some products that had fake disruption. So ChatGPT disrupted the market, and then Threads by Instagram, we thought it disrupted the market, but it was just fake disruption. After 2 weeks, all the people that ran to Threads have abandoned it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, digital skills school, we want to build a fintech app, right? And the reason is because we want to be able to allow our students pay instrumentally.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that students ask us a lot is, can we pay instrumentally? Can we pay instrumentally? You know, so we want to be able to give them a feature that would make them pay instrumentally. At the same time, we will not lose, because if you want people to pay manually, instrumentally, you know, Nigerians now, it will be, you are talking, it's difficult, you know. So how do we, is there enough fintechs, right? As in, do we need to build another one, or the fintech space is already saturated and there's nothing else that can be done again in the fintech world? Please answer that one. Then after he answers that, others can now go ahead and ask their questions.
Okay, so thank you, Emmanuel, for that. So the basic thing is, first of all, like I said, one thing that makes a product is users coming to use a product. There's this concept about there's a lot of a need for Nigeria to have social media app on its own. Everybody say, yeah, we need to have social media app. But one thing that really matters is, will people come back to the app after their first download? How will they come? What can you do to make them come back? That's the question. So you can wake up one day and say, I want to build a product. I have this big idea. And then you build, you spend money. And then after like 3 months, no more users, just one person that is your friend. Your very giant friend. Trying to give you gingering. You understand? I don't know how to put it. So basically, products are built to solve a problem, a task. And if there are products that exist that help users to achieve those tasks currently, like the jobs they are doing daily, and you bringing in a product that is solving that same task, that means your product team have a huge responsibility to disrupt that market, making sure that they can take away the eyes, their frustrations, their pain points, their element of unsatisfaction that this product is not meeting. Or if you build a product now, it solves a particular problem, also creates some set of problem or frustration for those users. So if you're bringing in a product in that particular market, you have a big job to really understand that market, understand the features of the existing competitors, and how best your product is coming to solve to solve a problem. Now, in the face of trade, I think majorly is because there were social media apps all over the world. What we sell to them is our time. And a lot of persons there are a lot of social media. There's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So each individual over time, I've seen that if I'm going to move to trade, same thing I'm going to get in trade, I'm getting it on social media apps. So it takes time for them to build value in that regard. Now to your question on fintech, like I said, you have a huge responsibility to design and talk to real users of current products, understand the problems they face, and find a way to meet those problems. It might just be a very small segment of those problems you're going to identify. And when you're able to solve that particular issue to the later, then it means that you can be able to get some users once you launch your product. I think that's just the answer. So the thing is, there are many features you can build. The fintech world is not saturated. Just that, are you solving a problem? What pain point are you solving for your users? While will a user come? What task, what job, what daily job or what daily task is a user going to achieve that will make them leave the current one, even if they don't have any current one, while we did use your product, and while we keep them to come and use that particular product. So that's where the major questions is. And there are a lot of things that you can do. And these are the things we're talking about in the class. There's a concept about it called hooked model. Is a business model where product manager build triggers into a particular product, external triggers and internal triggers that allows you to always want to come back to a product. Products like, especially social media apps, example is WhatsApp, Instagram. Why you go back to those are because they are triggers internally over time that is built into you that you say, people now say it's addiction. Some grow into addiction, fine, yeah, of course. But they, for them to get and capture your attention, make it come back, they build those triggers that when you send a message, you not come back, this is my WhatsApp message. As the person replied me, you not check. After like 30 minutes, go make, let me reply another person, let me go and check his status, let me go and check this one. So before you know, you spread a lot of time and you are retained in the app for 1 hour, enjoying and laughing and all of that. So these are things we'll be discussing in the class in details, how best you can attract users, you can grow users, you can keep users, and you can grow your user base. I think that answered the questions. Any other question?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you very much. So that means that some of these our apps that we are using, they deliberately make it addictive. The product manager.
Not yeah, in codes. There's a lot of debate around this. Deliberately does not mean they're making it addictive. They are just part of the psychology of getting the users. If we don't do that, it's been in the market and you will not
You will not sell it.
You will not sell, exactly. So it's capitalism. You just have to understand how it works.
Okay, guys, the floor is open. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question if you have. I'm sure you have questions, so please go ahead. No question is crazy. No question is funny. So go ahead and ask
anyone,
your question.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good evening, Mr. Damola.
Yeah, hi, Mercy.
Yeah, sorry, I want to ask, can we combine product design and product management together?
Okay. All right. So, so let me start this way. Product designer, when you're building a product, there are 3 things you need, or 3 persons in the team. You need a product designer, somebody that understand user experience, and understand how to design interfaces like user interface. And then you need a product manager that talks about what's it called? The users and the value and the problems, their frustration, the tax is just in basic terms, the tax they were using that product to achieve. Why the engineering comes with, oh, this is the latest technology we are around now. This is ChatGPT. How can we use ChatGPT to enhance our implementation process? Or these are the database. This is the functional requirement we're going to need. We need the domain name. We need the cloud service. Then all of it come together, brainstorm on alternative solutions to each of these problems that arise, and then bam, you're able to the product. That's what is needed. But in some cases, as a product, as a person, I always tell persons that I work with, especially in the organization I am now, you need a product knowledge to become a very successful product designer. So which means that experience is all about, like I said, making sure that the users love the app and they come back. So what really gives you that detailed knowledge about building experience is an aspect of product management. You understand? So it depends on where you're starting from. I don't know the background you have, whether you started as a designer, you understand? And it depends on where you're going to. But it is fundamental that if you take a product management course as a product designer, it will shaping your understanding of building product experience. Oh, if I put this particular button on my app on this part of the product, it will be visible. It will form this user flow. If I make this particular transition from one app page to another this way, it will bring about retention. So you understand how each of your design components creates business value or create value to the users, and at the same time value to the business. So it's not a bad idea, but it depends on where you are coming from. But these 2 roles are distinct. You can combine it, and it depends on the journey you're going to. So, but personally, it's best you stick to a direction. If you want to be if you're starting out as a product designer, you can take a product course. But if you are starting out as a product manager, it's best to stick to it. But if you're not working in a company that requires, they don't have a product manager, you'll be doing every task, because there's a task of designing the interface, you understand, and also designing the experience. So if you're going to be working to combine both designing the experience, the interface, and designing the experience with a product designer, that is fine. So it depends on your journey and what exactly you want to achieve in the long term.
Okay, just to add to that, right? Just like Mr. Damola has said, design and management are two different, even though the word product is there, but design and management are two different things. Management is the business aspect of it, right? Exactly. Let's look at, okay, everybody that is involved, now, of course, let me also make something clear. When Mr. Damola used the word engineers, it simply means programmers, the people that will write the code, right?
Exactly.
So, and then there's somebody that is specifically for design. So technology has advanced that these roles have become specialized. Before it was not so. One person was doing everything. But now it's so specialized that there's even a role called software testing. There's someone that will come after the designer has designed it, the programmers have programmed it. Someone will just come and just do testing. And software testing is a very lucrative tech field right now. It's crazy. I think. So I think it's just like Mr. Damola said, it's good to pick one and be very good at it. That is because there's a lot of work in it already than to be combining two. That is just my own opinion to add. All right, I hope that answers your question, Mercy.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Okay, any other person wants to ask a question, please, now is the time, so that we can quickly wrap up, and please unmute yourself and ask. This is your time. Okay, Mr. Okame Moses, Mr. Friday, Mr. Samuel Tom, Mr. Temitope, any of you guys, Mr. Ola, please, you guys have come this far, so you might as well. Are you saying that there's no question, like only Mercy wants to say something, and you understand the class very well? Okay. I mean, in the absence of any question, let me just quickly make some final announcements regarding the class. So the class was supposed to start on the 16th of September, but we're going to be giving an extension till the 23rd of September before we actually start the 3-month full product management course. Also, product design course is also starting. Now, let me just point out, product design and UI UX are very similar. They are almost the same thing, right? So that product design is also starting on the 23rd. And then we have our programming course, front-end development and full stack development starting on the 23rd as well, right? So those are things that, of course, if you belong to the WhatsApp group, these informations are going to be posted there accordingly. And the recording of this particular video is going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So you might want to go to our YouTube channel, the Digital Skills School, and subscribe so that when we upload it, you can also go through, because some very valuable things were shared in this particular class that you might want to watch again. Also, the school authority has decided to do a giveaway during this webinar. So for those that have stayed up to this time, we're going to be giving 2 people that attended this webinar a 50% discount on the fees, 50%. So the school fees is 150,000 naira, but we're going to be giving 2 people this a 50% discount. That means they're going to be paying only 75K for the 3-month course. Like, seriously. So the criteria for giving this scholarship, this 50% off, is very, very simple. Right, it's very, very simple. And you are just going to come on the WhatsApp group and mention 3 things you learned in this webinar. 3 things you learned in this webinar. That is very, very simple, right? And you are also going to make a very, very short YouTube video, not YouTube video, sorry, selfie video, right? Mentioning the 3 things you learned in this product management masterclass. Just make a simple selfie video and tell us the 3 things you learned from this digital skills school masterclass. And we are going to just pick the best, right, out of the people that submit that video. And we're going to give 2 out of everybody that submits a 50% discount. I mean, isn't that amazing? That is something worth clapping about now. 50% is off your fees to attend this particular course if you're interested. So you have between now and let's say next Friday to decide, because registration is closing next Friday. That is, I think that's 15th, to decide if you want to take the course. And then that's just, of course, you can also break your payments into parts, 2 different parts if you don't get the scholarship. All right, guys, thank you so much. I want to thank Mr. Damola Oladipo for coming on, spending this time with us. He's a very, very experienced product manager, and he's going to be the one taking this course for the next 3 months. So trust me, he's the kind of person you want to learn from, because he knows it. There's no, at least this webinar is a proof that he knows what he's talking about. All right, guys. So that's just it. I would love to see some comments in the chat box. Nobody's saying anything in the chat box. Please just at least say something nice to Mr. Damola before we close. Type something nice, thank you message or something to Mr. Damola, at least to let him know that he did not waste the last 1 hour of his life, talking to us, please, guys. Comments, yes. Okay, I can see Mr. Friday clapping. Yes, that's good. Any other person wants to type something in the chat box, please go ahead, please. Let's just appreciate Mr. Damola for coming to. Yes, somebody's raising a hand. Okay, please, if you want to ask a question, you can still unmute yourself and ask a question. Okay, yes, I can see the comments coming in. Thank you. Okay, good. Fantastic. Yeah. Great. That's good. I like that. Okay, guys. So that's it. I hope we were actually on the WhatsApp group anyway, just so that we can get more information on more of our classes. So we have 2 more free webinars coming up this month. The next one coming up is on Tuesday, is coding masterclass for anybody aspiring to become a programmer. We're going to be having Mr. Yusuf Abdullahi. He's one of the top tier software developers in the country. He's going to be coming to teach, just like Mr. Damola's taught tonight. That one is happening on Tuesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. And then we're having something called the Job Readiness Masterclass. So we're going to be having a recruitment expert coming to talk to us on how to get ready for jobs. So it's not enough to learn the tech skill. It's also good that we prepare ourselves, talking about LinkedIn profile, talking about having a headshot. And we're also considering having a physical hangout before the end of the year. So if you're on that WhatsApp group and you're in Lagos, we might have a physical hangout sometime around October or November. We are still planning it anyway, where we can meet ourselves physically and just hang out and eat and have fun. Of course, we're going to be announcing all these things on our Instagram page and on our WhatsApp groups, everything. So guys, thank you so much for coming. Mr. Damola, thank you once again. And guys, I'll see you on the very next webinar, which is happening on Tuesday, September 12th, 9 p.m. And of course, the WhatsApp group is very, very active, and we can continue our communications there. Thank you so much. Of course, you can also send me a message on WhatsApp 070 0706-5245-900. That is Digital Skills School's official number. Let me type it in the chat box in case you might not, but I guess most of you already know the official number anyway. 5245-900. That is our official line at Digital Skills School. Of course, someone is always going to be there to answer your questions if you message that number on WhatsApp. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Mr. Damola, any last words before we go? We enjoyed this so much. We don't want you to go. We enjoyed this so much. Any last words, sir?
I would just say that I think, like I said, I always say during the course of my teaching that product skills are something that is applicable everywhere to my personal life and as a product manager to my organization. And so I'm always happy to make sure that this knowledge is something that everybody have access to. And to us that have interest in building products, cheers to the future where we build product that really solves African problems the way we want it to be solved. So thank you, and happy to be here and happy to connect with everyone. You can find me on LinkedIn or Twitter for us to talk more. Cheers, guys.
Okay, thank you.
You're muted if you're talking.